Wooly with my co-host Torso. We are casting this VEA FgC match tonight. Torso, I'm actually echoing off of your microphone.
Alright, let me fuck with that some more. I'm new to Discord, so gotta get that shit set up. Alright, let's see how that goes. Got FgC versus VEA today. There's two D1 teams. I'm just now looking up where they sit in the standings.
They are both 3-1 this season. They've beaten every other team in D1 besides Armada. But both of them have won 3 games out of the 4 they played. So
these guys are competing for the D2, or not the D2, sorry, the second place seeding in the playoff tournament. Do we have a date for the playoffs yet, Willie? I haven't heard anything out of Link yet.
The playoffs are going to be played, I think it's anytime this week, or I believe actually next week is when the playoff first round will be, and then the week after will be the finals. The funny thing about this match is that FgC and VEA, no matter who wins, they still will play each other in the playoffs in a 2-3 matchup. The winner of this match gets the first seed, which pretty much gets to ban and pick first. So, you know, it may not seem like much of a difference, but it's definitely a big advantage because you get to pick what map you want to play first, and if you can win the first map, it's going to put a lot of pressure on the enemy team to win 2 maps in a row. So
that's right. You can give yourself quite an advantage with map choice. You know that the opponent has been practicing a certain map or a certain side of a map. You can use that to your advantage, or maybe your team is particularly good at a certain side on a certain map. You can start yourself off strong, or just otherwise put yourself in a good spot, good mindset, something familiar and comfortable going into what is usually a very stressful ordeal, a tournament. We're expected to win multiple matches, sometimes in the same day. I think we're going to spread this one out, kind of like the last one, over at least a couple days. So hopefully no one's going to get too burnt out. Hopefully that won't be a reason for anyone dropping any rounds or matches. So let's take a look at who's going to be playing tonight. We still have players, it looks like, loading into the server, but just let's see if I can pull up the View Players tab. Who we've got so far, we've got, for VEA, we got Bond, the new captain, VEA. We got Armageddon, the old and probably still somewhat acting captain as Bond transitions over to the leadership. VEA Darth is actually
Vilch.
Then we got Poderoy and Ham, rounding out a very, very strong and experienced starting 5 here. These are all pretty old school players. For FgC, so far we've got Snailman and Joe. Torix was just here. We're having some server setup issues that are getting resolved. Hopefully we'll be able to get those figured out in a hurry so we can get this match started for you guys here.
Yeah, and I would, assuming everything works out, I would assume that Torix, Badlight, and Tarpon are probably going to hop in here for FgC. Could be a different lineup. You might see something a little bit different, but I would expect that's the 5 that you're probably going to field. So yeah, thank you to our sponsors, the DGL sponsors, uroggaming.com. They provide all of our servers. Without them, we would not be able to do this awesome Insurgency competitive community stuff that we do with the matches and the league and everything. So thanks to them. And check out Game of Trolls as well if you have not heard of that. They also sponsor us, so check them out too.
That's some kind of card game, right?
Yeah, something like that. Pretty cool card game. Yeah, so hopefully we can get this underway. Should be awesome. It is the last D1 match of the season, and then we will do the playoffs. So if you have any predictions and you want to throw them out in the chat, go ahead and do that. I think the teams are pretty even as it stands. I think it's going to be a surprise as to who wins. Not a surprise necessarily, but definitely will be a competitive game. Definitely will be a good game in the playoffs. I do think VEA is going to take this map. I think VEA is probably one of the stronger Market teams right now. Market could be VEA's best map, and FgC, they're kind of actually known for Market being one of their weaker maps. When they played in the playoffs for Season 7 against VEA in the semis, actually, and then, or no, in the first round, and then played against Armada in the finals, and both of those times they did not play Market. And I remember when they played us in the finals last season, they banned Market first, FGC that is, and when they played VEA, VEA obviously being a very strong Market team would not ban Market, and Market was not played. So I think Market definitely is some not that FGC's bad on Market necessarily, but they definitely prefer other maps over Market, and I would probably expect them to do the same thing again next week if they lose this game, which I believe they will. Now, obviously, they could come out and surprise us. It's going to be a close game, but I'm going to give the edge to VEA, probably 9-5 actually.
I'm going to agree. These teams tend to field quite different strategies on this map from each other when they play. When you've got long gun strength in Snailman and Tarpon, like you do in FGC, you're going to find them usually starting at the map trying to get some cross picks, some pre-fires just from one side of the map to the other, take down really aggressive players. And that, I don't know if it's going to work against VEA. VEA is typically an extremely aggressive team, especially on this map. You should be looking for Ham and Ivilch to really do some damage early on, try to get those flanking routes open, push through Barber, push Alpha side, just try to get behind the enemy team. What we're going to see is, I think at first, FGC taking the first couple rounds. But as soon as VEA starts dodging the pre-fires that FGC is so good at setting up and is so known for, they're always going to do it. You're going to see them start to close the gap and take rounds later on into the match. I think it's going to open up maybe 1 or 2 rounds in favor of FGC. But once VEA starts smoking, maybe getting a pick from Bon or Podera, who typically hang back, that are support players in VEA, open up a lane to let their flankers through, I think we're going to see VEA come out on top. I'm going to agree with the 9-5.
Yeah, and it's kind of a big deal actually. I think that Tarpon and Snail, although they're very good long gunners, some of the best in the DGL, I think VEA has some very capable long gunners as well. I know Ham likes to sit around Africa and play the connector areas on Insurgent side, and kind of the mirror to that on the other side. And Ham is definitely a really good long gun. I think Ham's actually one of the better players in DGL right now, just based off of the scrims we played against them, and just the match performances as well. He top frags nearly every match for VEA. Not that VEA's whole squad isn't complete, because they're all very good, but Ham really excels on this map. Honestly, I would kind of put the tipper where if FGC had Bad Light, is Bad Light going to be able to outdo a Vilch on the pushes? Because they're both going to be pushing, and you would think that some of the other players on the both respective teams are going to be more in supportive long-range roles. So I really wanted to see the battle between them and who could do the most flanking damage, but I actually don't even know if Bad Light will be in the lineup for FGC tonight. Galthor's actually in the game, so you might see a Bad Light bulbless FGC here.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Tarpon or maybe the elusive Lunatic come in. Who really knows who the 5th player is going to be?
It'll definitely be Tarpon. I think that it's tough to call FGC if they don't have Tarpon.
Okay, we just got word in console here. Tarpon is on the way.
But Lightbulb he's a very important player to this team. He's very aggressive, and honestly, the only other player on FGC who likes to be remotely aggressive is Joe. And if Bad Light isn't here to fill that role for them, that's going to leave a gap unless Joe can fill that very well, and you will see how she can do. VA likes to set up, kind of protect their flanks, and they're very good at protecting those areas, so it's going to be pretty hard to get flanks off. I want to see Galthor here. I know Galthor likes to run the flanker to Barber, and him matching up with a Vilch will be a big deal. Alright, so we're starting to get everybody in here. Let me turn the in-game audio off.
Tarpon's actually in the server but has not joined a team yet. There we go. We got 5-on-5. We should get launched into our pistol round pretty quickly here. Maybe there's going to be one more reset, but we're going to play a pistol round to decide which side of the map each of these teams is going to start out on. If you win the pistol round, you get to choose. And again, this is just another thing that can give you a little bit of advantage going in. Maybe you've got a strat prepared. Maybe you know that the opponent has a strat prepared that you don't want to see first thing. Like if they're particularly good at sniping and pushing on Insurgent side, maybe you make them start on security so you don't have to worry about that until later in the match. It's just a little bit of a strategic and kind of housekeeping deal. No other really good way except maybe a coin toss to figure out which side of the map we start on. These maps are usually pretty balanced, but it's occasionally an asymmetrical balance, or maybe there's something that honestly the map designers didn't account for it putting into competitive play and gives one side an advantage.
I definitely think Insurgent side is the better side on this map, and if you're playing in a match on market, you want Insurgent side. It's much more safe for B. The connector on Insurgent side is a lot better than the security connector because the Insurgent connector can actually see Horseshoe, and because of that, the security connector player cannot see Horseshoe, and that allows the Insurgent B players to really push up. They have more cover in general. There's a wall near red truck. There isn't a similar wall near white, so Tarpon getting that pick onto Pio with the Makarov, I believe that might have been a pretty far shot there, and VEA.
It was a cross-map pick. VEA playing two players up onto Blue Bridge, Bond getting a kill and stopping somewhere in the middle, trying to get a bead onto Tarpon, who's just gone prone underneath the yellow bridge. VEA, I was about to say they're just sort of holding up, but now we got Ivilch creeping up to yellow bridge, seeing what he can get done up there. Armageddon taking out Torix.
And Arm, that's a big pick on Torix there. You know, both teams kind of at a stalemate with one person on B each, but Torix is going to go down, and Arm's opening up this B cap, and now FgC has to rotate to do something about
Tarpon's blocking here on red truck, but he is already under fire from Blue Bridge. I think that's still Bond up there. As Armageddon takes down Galthor, Tarpon will win the duel and take out Bond as Ivilch goes down to Snailman. Snailman now the last player up for FgC, trying to make a move here onto this Blue Bridge position. He seems to know, the red truck position. He seems to know the location of the remaining two VEA players. He's just really stalling for time here. Hopefully he can get a pick here. Then another, really. I think they've whittled it down and they know roughly where he is. Armageddon's staying on his belly as Ham looks for the kill. Maybe he'll see ahead here in a second. Ham with the final kill. That's the pistol round in favor of VEA.
Yeah, VEA picking their side. I don't know what side they chose yet because...
They chose Insurgent.
They did. Okay, so they're going to flip. Smart thing to do on VEA's part. If they get up early on Insurgent, they might be able to just slam this match into the ground. It might be, we'll see. I know FGC's security side's pretty good because security side, one of the only advantages it has on the Insurgent side on this map is the sniper house. The sniper house is actually much more secure than construction. It's a lot safer, and if you're a sniper security side on market, it's definitely your deal. And Snailman and Tarpon both known for their sniping capabilities, as well as Joe. So getting loadouts here. Peter Roy with the M1 carbine. Mr. Armageddon with the heavy armor AKM. Interesting.
Sounds like he's going to camp out on Bravo. Some extra survivability there with that armor.
And Ivilch here with the foregrip AK-74U Cobra sight here. Galthor rocking the M16. Torix with the MP5. Tarpon M16. Snailman rocking the flanker with the MP5. In the past, you kind of saw Galthor, past seasons, he's been playing that flanker role. But it looks like Snailman, has actually kind of asserted himself this season as one of the flankers for FgC, preferring to opt the MP5. So definitely a switch on Snailman's usual loadout.
When you've got Tarpon hanging back on your team, it's almost a little bit redundant to have Snail do the same. Although I am so used to seeing him do that.
Ham's running onto blue here. This is going to be a key matchup, and Ham's just going to get that kill. Ivilch with the kill on Snailman. Galthor's posted up in A courtyard, but Ivilch just not going to push.
Joe is getting mobbed here on Bravo. VEA just collapsing in to get her off that point so they can continue to cap it up.
And they're looking for Joe. They don't know where she is. And Ham will see Joe. Gets the kill. Tarpon with the kill on Armageddon. It's just not looking good
for FgC at the moment. 4v2 against VEA.
The biggest thing though is that they've now flipped Bravo, and FGC has time, but Ham with a pick on the tarpon, he actually saved Bond's life there. Bond just camping on construction. And
With this frag,
Galthor,
they're going to know exactly where Galthor is. I think he's going to get shot from Yellow Bridge. Poderoy with the M1. First round going in favor of VEA. Ham with a 3K.
Ham with a 3K, and you know the Ham early pick and the Vilch early pick on the different sides of the map, it kind of just tore FGC apart. Their back players were really concerned after that point with the flanks, and they couldn't support Joe well enough. Joe playing onto that B objective. When your flanks go down and you're a B player, your support players have to account for that, and it just didn't end well for them. I like that move by Ham there. He pushed blue, got the kill, but didn't really stay there, just doubled back, you know, to kind of give them the illusion that someone was behind them when really he wasn't doing anything behind them. So I like that play. Very good by him.
Wouldn't check that Charlie side really quick, make sure they weren't getting wide flanked, and then just doubled back and played B. It was a great play from him.
Snailman pistol rushing, Tarpon picking the boxes, but he doesn't see anybody. He sees Bond on construction. Is he going to take the shot? He will, but he misses, and Bond's going to return it back to Tarpon's face right there. Gets the kill from construction.
Got Joe right on top of Armageddon. She's going to find his head, as Snailman also finds, with that pistol, Vilch.
Vilch jumping into the shops, doing the little jump he does, a really good move on his part, but Snailman shut him down, honestly, heard the jump drop, and took care of him. And it looks like FGC has a lot of control.
They're just stuck on the outside of the map right now. We got Ham starting to make it in towards the objective, but with that B cap, it's a 5v3. Got Tarpon coming back in, see if he can get something done. Maybe he'll run into Ham as he spawns back in. Ham fairly exposed here on the street. He's going to head up into that kebab position, see what he can get done on Blue Bridge. Galthor might be able to hear him as he's running around up here, though. If he gets called out, he's going to be pretty quick work for Tarpon.
And I like VEA's strategy here. FGC, they kind of panicked when VEA was getting control of the point and all died, but VEA still with 3 people up. Lets FGC cap, and they're able to get 2 quick kills and even this out.
Galthor and Torix are right on top of each other and not really controlling much of the map. We also have Snailman rotating around to check the last known position of Ham. All 3 FGC players looking in the same direction, not covering anything. If Poderoy knew this, he could easily jump onto B for free right now. Galthor finally whipping back around to check that point.
I think that's what FGC might want. They want VEA to make a move on a point so they can take care of them. But
it's 3v3 again.
Yeah, Torix holding this upper blue, but he's not holding the angle. Ham will have the left peek. Torix tries to flick to Ham, but doesn't get there fast enough, and Ham's going to pick that kill up.
Ham sitting on 3 or 4 kills already this round. Galthor sees him running towards Alpha, though, and will end that little kill streak he had.
So here we go.
Poderoy's beginning to make some moves on Yellow Bridge. Link up with Bond for a B play. He's got to cover his teammate. He's just watching his ass right now. He's got to cover B. I don't know why he's not looking at B right now. He does have Snailman below him in shops, but be better off looking out for this push Galthor is going to make. Bond's going to be largely blind to this. Whereas it'd be a pretty easy pick for Poderoy.
Oh, he's got the nade, but he gets taken out by Snailman in the back. It's going to have to be a quick play on red.
Position again. We only have 9 seconds left in this round.
And they know where Poderoy is. They heard him. Snail, if he goes for this kill, it might be very unwise if he doesn't peek this correctly.
Well, they've got to peek at the same time. Galthor and Snail, if they peek this at exactly the same time, Poderoy has little to no chance of getting out of here alive.
Poderoy
in this, sure what he's looking at.
Poderoy in this corner, he's just a little bit far ahead of Red Truck, so if Snail peeks, he can't see Pio, and Snail's just not going to be able to see him.
Poderoy is such a patient player, especially when he's in these clutch situations. Great to watch. He's just not making any moves he doesn't absolutely have to. He knows he's in the best position he could be in right now, given the circumstances, so he's not going to do anything until he sees an FGC player.
What do you do if you're Snail? Do you drop and you try to kill Pio, or do you go for C? It's torso.
If I was Snail, I would have been in Charlie a long time.
I definitely agree with that, but Snail just, he's kind of waiting for Pio to push, and
I'm not convinced that FGC knows where he is.
I think that Snail read B well and has a good idea, and Snail sees Pio going to cut off that push there. It's 1-1. I need to update the scoreboard. I always forget to do that. Great. New scoreboard is pretty cool, by the way. We got it. Never hit tab in a clutch situation. So Torix tabbing that time. Armageddon with that heavy armor.
For those not in the know, tab will bring up your scoreboard and render you pretty much useless until you release that key.
It's going to be a key battle in shops here. Village jumping, gets Snailman. And Village slides, but he doesn't get the kill. Galthor taking him out, but Ham's going to take out Torix there, and FgC at a quick disadvantage. They do have B control here, though. Ham going to opt to double back. Ham really likes these double back moves.
Armageddon sneaking on to B, killing Joe and getting it back capped in EA's favor here in a minute. The nade coming out of Galthor, though, it might do some damage to Arm, but with that heavy armor, it shouldn't kill him even if he takes some of the splash. He sees Galthor get on the point, shoots him in the face through those boxes. Ham taking down Tarp, and that's a quick round in favor of VEA. We're back and forth, but right at the moment, it is 2-1 in favor of VEA. Great B play out of Armageddon. Just a sneaky little snake down there on his belly, gets 2 kills. And I'm going to credit him with winning that round for his team. If they didn't stop that Bravo cap, they would have been sitting in a lot worse situation. 5v3, 5v4, whatever it was.
Yeah,
a lot
Joe
different than what they were in.
It was a 4v3 VEA with the man advantage, but Joe having B past half capped. And you know, if Arm isn't able to kill Joe there, or at least block it, it's a big deal. It's a great job to Arm.
Really ballsy play out of Joe, just sitting there in the helicopter in the middle of the objective. It's not something that's checked first if you're clearing the point, so you can actually often get away with clearing the point, getting a cap from that position.
Bond picking Tarpon. He's gotten a lot of kills on Tarpon, and Ham's just eating these early picks. Ham's gotten 3 rounds where he's gotten one of the first kills. Same with Avilch. Avilch constantly wrecking on that other side, and he's in a battle with, I believe, Snailman right now.
Whew. Joe was super aggressive on the Bravo, making it all the way to the yellow pillars position almost. Takes a frag from Poderoy. Snailman will take down Ivilch, though.
And honestly,
right now we've got both the FgC players kind of cupped in the map towards Alpha. They're trying to make their way back out onto B, but it's starting to get capped up. We got Armageddon again with that heavy armor, just laying prone here, getting the cap started for his team. Galthor trying to clear the frag, but it's already almost 50% capped for VEA, and they know where he is. They saw where that frag came from. They're gonna start putting some fire down towards that way. Snailman from the side, though, from shops will take down Armageddon. And this is going to prompt a rotation out of Poderoy, come down from upper Africa to lower and take down the shops player.
And Snailman's been huge this round for FgC so far. He killed Ivilch on a nasty flick shot earlier and then just took out VEA's B player. So VEA going to have to change some adjustments. Galthor watching this barber push from Ham, but it doesn't matter. Ham's even doing more damage. Snailman returns on Pio, and we have a 1v2 here.
Gets spotted out by Bond, who's going to miss the spray, but he's at least called out for Ham. Ham should be making a flanking maneuver.
We actually, technically did actually Ham miss the shot, and now Ham is dead.
I got it backwards.
So, Bond, that's it.
I think he hears him, though, running down here. He's going to line up the shot. 3-1, VEA.
Nice.
Ham with 10 kills already. Wow.
Yeah, good work by Ham. He's really a market monster, as you like to call it. And Bond with a great 1v1 clutch, you know. That's one thing you got to really appreciate the players in Insurgency who do a lot of that 1v1 work, who can do it well. You know, a lot of guys are really good early fraggers, really good top fraggers, kind of like Ham, getting a lot of early kills. But when you have Bond in a 1v1 against somebody, you know, it's a lot of pressure. And that one kill, if you don't get it, you don't get the round for your team either. So, great play by Bond there. Alright, so Ham's been able to get early kills basically every round. Avilch also pretty successful. He lost the battle with Snailman, but Ham's really beating up Barber, and Joe's not able to play B quite as comfortably as she normally would because of it. And she's going to go gay, but you're going to wait for Ham to push. Ham coming up to this bridge here. Ham with another kill. Ham's just been tearing up Torix the entire game so far. And I think Galthor just got a pick there. Galthor going down to Armageddon.
Armageddon on block on Bravo. He's starting to look for Joe, who's still just lying down underneath this blue bridge. They tried to frag her a minute ago, but it went wide. Didn't connect. It's stuck at about 40% in favor of FgC. Tarpon and Joe, the last two players up. Tarpon gets caught out by Ham. And we're left with Joe, who hasn't moved this entire round. She's still here under these blue bridge pillars. And it's really just a matter of time. Ham seems to know exactly where she's hiding to run over and do the deed.
Yeah, and Joe's just honestly in the worst position possible right now. There's not really anywhere you could be that's worse than Blue Gay. Maybe, I really actually don't think there's any worse place. You can't really do anything if you get up, in that kind of situation at least. Not that Blue Gay is a bad spot necessarily, but in a 1v5, it's just very detrimental there, and VEA up 4-1.
Well, when you've got zero support and only one way out of a position, you're in a bad way.
Yeah, and Ham is a beast, 13-2 so far this round. Snailman 7-4 for FgC, but Galthor's kind of breaking even. But you know, Joe, Tarpon, and Torix a combined 2 and I believe 16. That's very, very bad for FgC right now. They need to change something up or get rolling, something like that. Ham pushing again.
Well, he hasn't really been challenged, so he's just going to take advantage of this and get up in FgC's face. Rip it off. Snailman taking down Ivilch early, though. Major blow to VEA.
And that's the one thing, Torso. Snailman, he's contested Ivilch very well. He's played against Ivilch very well, and he's done his job. He just really needs the rest of FgC right now to step up, and they are doing that. A few early kills for the FgC side, but Bond taking out Tarpon there.
Tarpon savvy enough, though, to kill Ham as he flanked around, and Armageddon took a little bit of damage off that nade. Maybe enough. Maybe he made a noise or something when he took the damage, so Wasabi Joe could figure out where he is. A little bit of a weird duel happening here on Yellow Bridge, though, with Snailman with an M9 again, pistoling. Trying to kill, I believe that's Podoroy on the other side.
Pio just chunked a nade at him, but it bounced off the wall and didn't quite get Snailman. Good idea by Pio there. Joe's in a cheeky spot on B, but gets killed, and another round is being snatched away from FgC. They just can't really win any of these close situations against VEA right now, and Bond with the sniper rifle looking very good. That's his second pick of the game, or of the round.
Galthor's going to get on the block, put a few rounds towards Podoroy, miss, and get taken down by Armageddon as he gets called out. Snailman looking for the sniper will take a round in the back from Podoroy all the way from Yellow Bridge. Another round in favor of VEA. We're here at 5-1 already.
Yeah, and Bond, he saw Snailman coming, and instead of shooting him, he just decided to pull a little H1Z1 right there and just run away and tell his teammate to kill Snail. So Pito picking up that kill. Scoreboard right now, Snailman 8-5, but you know, Galthor 3 kills, Joe 1 kill, Torix 0 kills so far, and Tarpon with only 2. Tarpon just not playing well. He's one of the bigger guns on FgC, and they need him to be in this game if they want to be successful. Ham's an absolute monster right now, and you know, Ivilch maybe not having the game people expected him to, but he's not doing very terrible in the sense of what his role is, and his team's being very successful right now. Bond just doing what he needs to do to help his team as well. Ham's pushing blue again. No one's on it this time for FgC.
I don't know if they put anyone up there last round either. Ham got killed by Tarpon as he tried to flank around him. Tarpon picking up the scope, though. If Ham's not ready for this, he might get picked trying to cross. He's actually going to take down Bond all the way to construction. Really nasty shot coming out of Tarpon.
And Tarpon just couldn't make it work with his rifle earlier, so he's decided to pick up the sniper. Joe got gun blocked there and just doesn't... Now she kills Armageddon, and Torix getting the kill on Ivilch in shops. So
a 2v5 right now. FgC finally looking like they have a bit of an advantage here as Tarpon takes down Ham from close range. We're left with Podoroy in his signature pallet spot. Going to get taken down by Snailman with an M9. That's starting to bring it back. If they can end this at 5-3 with... they're at 5-2 right now. If they can take half at 5-3 on their non-preferred side, they're actually looking like they're still in this, but they really need to win this next round for them to still be, in my opinion, consideration for this match.
Yeah, Ham started out really well, but last few rounds, he hasn't really been able to do much damage. FgC switched up what they need to, and they've actually were able to come out with that round. Tarpon picking up the M40 sniper there and able to get 2 kills, so Tarpon doubling his kills. Only had 2 kills in the first 6 rounds of the game, but just picked up 2 in that last round with the sniper, and we'll see if he opts to go back to that again, and he will. Looks like
Sticking
Tarpon
with it.
is gonna stick with the M40.
In response to getting sniped last round, Bond drops the bolt. He's playing AKM right now. He's starting to push up towards this Africa position. Maybe he's going to play onto B. He's doing some pre-fire up onto blue, where FGC has not been playing at all. I'm not sure why he's pre-firing there. Ham takes down Joe. Snailman will take down Poderoy. We're in a 4v4 already with B starting to get capped up for VEA. Tarpon not yet able to get anything done with that bolt action, as Ivilch adds another kill to his belt.
One thing to keep in mind, Snailman threw a nade into Africa. Snailman doesn't actually know that he killed Africa, and that's FGC doesn't think they have any kills right now.
Arm's going to cap B and bring that guy back in, so even if they knew, it's not really like it's worth much. Boderoy get brought back in as Ivilch takes down Torix. We're left with Snailman and Tarpon in a 2v5. Tarpon get domed by Ham through a car window. That was nasty. Snailman, the last man alive with this M9. Taking some fire from construction. That's Poderoy up there. Just spawned back in. Good timing out of Poderoy. Good placement coming back into the game to take down Snailman. We're 6-2 in favor of VEA at halftime.
Yeah, and I think FGC, to be honest, they're really missing Bad Lightbulb here. I think he might be able, he's got the gun skills to match up on those flanks with maybe Ham or a Vilch and allow Snailman to either do something else or just play another position. But VA, honestly, playing really well. Ham picking up 2 kills the last round, and Ham's at 15. If this game were to go 16-round pace, Ham would have 30. So look at the caps, 2 by FGC, 1 by VEA. Neither team really giving each other a chance to cap the point, and you kind of seeing, really some of the only caps, one of the only caps FGC has was one that was allowed by VEA, and then they took the round later on. So
all right, we switch sides, and let's see if we get a major change of program from these two teams. We got Snailman picking up a long gun, finally. AKM pre-fire trying to take down the cross to Barber. Is going to find nothing. Tarpon also pre-firing from near construction. Wasabi Joe going to find Ham, putting FGC at a big early round advantage. Armageddon going to hop onto Bravo, start playing here near that horseshoe position.
And Ham and Bond
camping the blue bridge.
Ham and Bond walked out on blue bridge about 2 feet apart from each other. Joe just took Ham's head off, and I'm surprised Bond didn't get killed too. Peteroy with 2 big kills.
Kill.
And Barber and FGC, they're going to regret that double push. Tarpon with a pick on the Bond and Joe.
Joe with another kill, clearing out Bravo for her team. We're down to Poderoy and Ivilch against 3. We got Tarpon finally stepping on to Bravo. It's going to get capped up towards FGC's favor. He's going to take down Poderoy in the process. And we got Ivilch going for the wide flank through Alpha Skinny. He's going to pop out onto that Insurgent Street.
And apparently Joe's unlocked a secret. You can actually cap from behind this pillar. I did not know that. And she is behind the pillar. FGC's going to pick up that round.
Tarpon with a 3K. Helping his team get to 6-3. Still in VEA's favor here. Got Snailman as the only player with a positive KD on his team right now. Whereas everyone but Ivilch on VEA is pretty damn positive. Ham at 15-5 right now. He's looking for that 20 burger.
And I know
probably going to get it.
I know some people are going to say right now, where's Ivilch at? Why is he a bottom frag right now? A lot of people think Ivilch is one of the best, if not the best player on VEA, but Ivilch usually plays very well against more aggressive teams. Against a passive team like the FGC, who really locks down all the flanks, it's very difficult sometimes to get a lot of kills on the flanks. Ham just doing a more overall job of killing people. And FGC with his double B rush, Torix and Joe.
Torix putting some shots towards the VEA blue player, but Ham will make it across. Tarpon's going to take down Ivilch. Joe's going to take down Armageddon. That opens up B for FGC. They got 2 players on right now. They got Torix and Joe on there. They got Gelthor watching the Charlie position. Tarpon's going to get up onto yellow. Watch across to blue as Ham sets up and takes him down. Joe bringing him right back in with that Bravo cap. Now, man, putting some shots over towards Bond, not going to find anything.
And Ham is called out. Africa is going to go to assist, but Ham's just going to run away. Pio's still there, though. Gets the kill.
It's excellent team play. Ham coordinating with his teammate, telling him, look out, there's someone rotating, trying to kill me. He's going to run away, set up Poderoy, get the kill. Joe should have heard that player drop from Blue Bridge. She'll call it out. Torx will get the kill onto Poderoy. Ham's still up here on the bridge, though.
Tarpon just got to A. So this is going to prompt a move by VEA. VEA not anywhere near A, and Ham's all by himself.
Ham at a 1v4 clutch, and he's getting capped out on. He's only got a few seconds. Take down Torx, even out his odds a little bit, but Joe's going to catch him jumping off the bridge. Deal enough damage that when he hits the ground, he dies. Joe getting robbed of a kill right there.
I think that should count as a kill, you know? I mean, if you shoot someone halfway off the bridge and then they fall and die, maybe just a kill.
No, you're just getting assists. You're just assisting the ground.
Well, you know, I would have said at halftime, you know, FgC not doing good enough with a 2-6 score line against VEA, but they picked up the first 2 rounds on Insurgents, and they look to have a lot of momentum. Ham has a lot of kills for his team, but the rest of VEA hasn't really done much, especially on security side. So I'd say VEA really needs this round if they don't want momentum to get away from them.
Getting 3 rounds in a row off of half would be a huge morale boost for FgC, who seem to be just fighting this one back. We're at 6-4 right now. And I think it's really their B play that's winning these rounds as Tarpon takes down Bond right off the bat.
I'm surprised that people opt a pistol rush with the M9. I would think that you would want to use the Makarov just because it's lighter. The M9 really isn't that much lighter than the flanger weapons.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to familiarity with the weapon. Vilch maybe not having enough practice with the M9 or with the Makarov, excuse me.
And maybe it's just preference. Snailman peeking shops. He's going to catch Vilch off guard there, and Joe on B. And this looks like another round for FgC here. But Armageddon and Ham say no to that. They got 2 kills there.
We got still got Torx though on B. He's starting to get found out by Poderoy. He's going to riddle him full of bullets, and we've lost Bravo control from FgC. We got Armageddon. And Poderoy's still up for VEA. Poderoy putting some shots towards Snailman. Eventually going to find him as Galthor just prones out here on B, trying to block the cap.
Oh, it's a 1v1. This is really important.
Armageddon.
FgC needs this. Good. And that was huge from Galthor. Galthor winning the 1v2, getting Armageddon under the box, and then getting Poderoy off of the bridge. I think that you know, Pio maybe was a little bit too impatient there just to jump off. Arm should have had that call out onto Pills, and something weird happened with VEA's comms there. Galthor with a few good shots, and he just put his team back in the game.
Now, if I'm VEA right now, I'd be calling a pause. I'd be talking to my team. I'd try to refocus them. I think they got to break the momentum that FgC has, because if they manage to tie this up and then possibly surpass VEA with maybe 7 rounds, you're looking at not only a very literal score disadvantage, but also just morale getting crushed.
Just tilt.
It's really hard to stop this kind of momentum out of a team once they have their mindset to it and they start winning rounds again, you know?
And VEA's on the, you know, arguably the worst side right now, too. Snailman with another kill onto Vilch.
A Makarov pick there. Armageddon's going to make his way onto B and start getting it capped up. Bravo's actually... yeah, Galthor's not on the point. He's near it. He's not on it. It's getting capped up. It's about 30% for VEA. Galthor's still not hopping on that point. 50% for VEA now. This is a big mistake out of Galthor, but that nade might make a difference if it lands in the right place. If it doesn't, Armageddon picking off Galthor. Looks like he's going to get his cap. It's about 85%.
And Ham just ran all the way through C to construction. FgC has no idea he's back there. I think if I was Ham, maybe flank the connector instead. It just took him a long time to get to construction. But VEA's actually going to get the pick, and
Ham opting to spawn camp. He's not going to see that player run past towards, they're going towards Charlie? Yeah, they're going towards Charlie. Galthor's heading towards Charlie. He makes it out unscathed. Ham still watching for the spawns. Not sure he's being much use right now.
3v5 right now for FgC, but all of FgC's players are concentrated around the same area, whereas VEA's are well spread out, so interesting.
Taking down Tarpon. Then Bond taking down Joe makes this into a 5v1. Galthor the final player alive, and Alpha's getting capped up for VEA. If he peeks this, I think Armageddon's going to take his head off. Galthor
Yeah.
getting the kill, but Bond is there for the refrag. We're at 7-5 in favor of VEA, finally breaking that 3-round streak that FGC had off of the half.
Yep.
They really needed to do that.
VA ending the 3-round spell deficit, and Galthor's played exceptionally well the last 2 rounds. I think FGC, they went to take A, and VA was at B, and even though Pam didn't really get the spawn camp, VEA's mid-game positioning was honestly just far superior to FGC's that round, and that's really why FGC lost that round, to be honest, and why VEA won. FGC not spreading their players out like VEA. VEA just seemed to control most of the map, so see if VEA can continue their success.
Got Galthor getting a pre-nade kill, and Army knew exactly where he was going to be on that Bravo point. Bond will take down Joe, though, and that's the 2 Bravo players, the 2 usual Bravo players for both teams taken down.
Did Bond just throw a fire grenade into B?
Bond just threw an incendiary. Yeah, he's trying to deny the helicopter position, I suppose, from FGC. Finally do have Poderoy getting the block. He's here in these blue pillars with Bravo by 80% capped up for FGC. We got Tarpon going down to Bond. Snailman will take down Ivilch.
It's a 2v2.
Away from Torix. It's 2v2. We still got Torix and Poderoy on B. Just
Be interesting
waiting for
if
Bond to find this player. He shoots very, very near to Torix. I think Bond knows where Torix is, but just can't quite put a round into him.
And Bond's being smart. He's moving his position on the bridge. He's trying to get an angle on Torix, but
Snailman's looking for him here on this yellow bridge.
wise by Snailman to run away. Oh, Snailman just beat Pieroy, but Pieroy got the kill on Snail, and that's a huge kill.
Torix gonna look towards those pillars, get taken down by Bond as he peeks. Match point, we're 8-5 in favor of VEA. Bond with a 3K that round.
Yeah, that was an insane effort by Bond, but even a crazier effort by Pio, arguably. Only 1 kill, but he somehow just peeked the inner side of Africa from Gay, and VEA able to take that round. Pio shut Snailman down, and that put his team in a 2v1 situation.
Pause coming out of Torix. I wonder if they're going to sub or if this is just a tactical talk it over kind of moment.
Yeah, I think this pause is a little too late. They need to force overtime.
They have to take 3 rounds in a row in order to still be in this match. Let's talk about Ham for a second. He's got a very solid 19-8. That's an over 2 KD. A very, very good spread. He's 1 kill away from a 20.
Yeah,
I think he's going to get it. All he has to do is find 1 pick, and yeah.
Tarpon's kind of come back the second half with a 9-2. I think he was something like 2-7 at the end of the first half, or near the end of it. But he's been able to do a good job since then. Ham, obviously, like you said, with the 19-8. Pio and especially Bond last round doing a lot of work for their team. I think of Vilch right now at 5-11. Snailman has been playing against a Vilch most of the game, and Snail's really outplaying a Vilch this game. Something you rarely see. You rarely see anyone outplay a Vilch, honestly. But the rest of FGC, aside from a few good rounds by Tarpon and that 2v1 clutch by Galthor, they're not really doing much right now to help Snailman out. And I think Snailman's actually having a pretty good game. It's just going to come down to, can they adjust everything to get another win streak going on this Insurgent side here?
Torix asking VA if they're ready. Going to get back into the match here after this restart.
So what do you do if you're FGC here, Torso? What do you try to go for? Do you have any ideas? as to what they should do in this situation, or do you think it's pretty standard play here, or what are you thinking?
Uh, the rounds they won were rounds where they really aggressively controlled Bravo. And I don't mean putting two players on it. I mean playing around it. These last couple rounds, they've tried to put two players onto it. They've just been getting picked off. I think they need to put someone really solid in the middle of Bravo, smoke it off real good, and then just guard their flanks and just hold tight. If they can kill VEA's Bravo player in Armageddon, they're more or less clear to take that point and possibly the round, you know? Got Tarpon getting a pistol flank here onto Blue Bridge. Doesn't quite see that player through the smoke, but he could shoot him in the side of the head if he wanted. All he has to do is peek.
Bonds just ran out onto the middle of the bridge and gotten kills every round. Ham with a kill on Galthor, and that's going to open things up for VEA this round. Pio taking control of yellow right now. He's going to go down and just kill Snail. Tarpon is able to kill Bond, but it's not really going to do much. Most of FGC's team is simply destroyed right now.
Got Tvorix in a little bit of a duel here towards the lower Africa position. Face Poderoy, who has a right peek if Poderoy chooses to use it. Armageddon, though, getting the flank on a Torix. Runs straight by him. Torix might pick up this kill. Poderoy peeking, though. Keep Armageddon from getting murked. Got Tarpon taking down Poderoy. Torix taking down Armageddon, and then the refrag coming out of Ivilch. We're down to Tarpon in a 1v2.
Can
Ivilch is
Tarpon
gonna cap Bravo. It's a 1v5. And they know exactly where he is. He'll come up with one kill, and then Ham's going to refrag for the match. 9-5 VEA. That was a nasty, nasty match played by VEA. Ham, Poderoy, and Bond absolutely going crazy. FGC, Snapman putting up a little bit of a fight, but honestly, FGC not able to rally and bring it back, although it did look pretty promising there for a minute. It's a couple rounds in a row.
All right, well, VEA, with their highest finish ever in a DGL season, with that second place, taking second place from FGC. FGC's been around a long time, but has never actually won D1, but has often placed second in a lot of standings. So definitely good effort by VEA. They beat a really strong opponent. VEA played very well, I think. Going to get Ham in here for an interview. And yeah, Torso. So, you know, what are you kind of expecting going into the best of 3 matchup? I know the market. We actually were dead right on the prediction. This is the first time it's happened this season for us. You know, both of us being.
You know, the caster's curse can't last forever. It has to be broken at some point.
And Torso is a genius. You know, just like me with the 9 and 5. So. I'm just kidding.
Just subtly call yourself a fucking genius, Willie. Just go for it.
Subtly. So. Yeah, I'm expecting FGC to ban Market next week. It should be an exciting best of 3 between those teams. So what are you thinking? Yeah, are you kind of thinking the same thing, or?
My personal feeling is, let's see, they gotta play 3 maps, right?
Yeah, seems to be the case.
I think it's gonna go 2-1 in favor of VEA, and if I can vary, what's I'm looking for? Aggressively predict the future. I think VEA is going to take Station and District, and Ministry will be an FGC map.
Yeah, well, the format for next week is actually ban, and then the remaining 3. So it's a bit different. At least that's what I was told by Link. I think FGC is going to ban Market, and you know, if FGC's strongest map is probably Ministry, and I would say that VEA might avoid playing that. Maybe, you know, I'm not going to ask him that. Obviously, he's in here now, but I would bet they're going to be playing District and Station, and maybe even Siege for sure. So it should be interesting. Keep on Reddit and be in tune for that. Ham, congratulations on the win. You performed very well, and you guys got a good win tonight.
Yeah, thanks.
So how did you guys feel about the match coming in? You know, did you prepare any certain way, you know, for the match, or what did you guys do, you know, to help win everything?
I think Market's been one of those maps that we've tried probably the most amount of different strats on out of all of the maps, since there's just so many different ways you can play the lanes on Market. And I really think that we found our stride with Market like about last week or maybe even early this week, we found a pretty good setup that was very conducive to our players' skill sets. And I think after we found that sort of rhythm, and especially figured out security side, because security side we used to be very, very weak. I still think we're a lot stronger on Insurgent side, but our security side isn't gonna lose us the match. We're able to close out on security side now. So I think once we got that sorted out, Market became a very strong map for us again, like it was a few seasons ago.
Yeah.
FgC, playing back a lot and then switching it up sometimes to play Bravo very heavily. Saw you guys start to hold it a little back, a little more passively later in the match, but still a big feature of that round or the match for you guys was those just totally around the outside of the map flanks out of you notably. Did you ever feel like maybe you need to sideline the aggression and help support Bravo more, or were you free to basically flank to your heart's content that match?
I basically just kind of adopted the adopted the motto, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, the first few rounds, they were kind of just letting me run all over them on the flank. I was like, so like the second round, I was kind of like hesitative. I was like, they're probably gonna not let me do that again. But then lo and behold, I did it like 3 more times in a row. And I don't know, I was like expecting, I did get really lucky one round, which was they were going to do a strat where they were going to flash me rushing, because I think I just got done rushing Barber like 2 or 3 times in a row. And then one of their guys came out of the first door, Barber going towards C, and he was going to pop a flash over the wall, and that would have destroyed me if I was trying to rush Barber. But I kind of got lucky that time and decided to go to the second door instead and caught him with his pants down. Besides that, though, I think I was surprised at like how little they did to stop our flankers.
I don't think they ever really put anyone onto Blue Bridge from security side at all.
They did actually. Torix ran across a lot of rounds and never really won the fight at all in the first half. Didn't only hit 2 kills, I think, the whole half. So Ham, good job, man. Congratulations on the 2nd seed. You guys will be seeing FgC again, so the match, it got you the top seed. You have the advantage. You get to play your map first after the bans. Anything to expect going into that playoff matchup against the same team you guys just faced off against?
Well, I feel like after that, they're definitely gonna ban Market, would be my guess. I think I don't think there's any way they ban District. And I don't feel like they're gonna ban Siege either. So I feel like if anything, they're gonna ban either Station or they're gonna ban either Station or Market for sure, since those are probably some of our best maps. And I feel like they're gonna be looking to play Ministry, since that's one of their stronger maps.
Yeah, the last season playoffs in the first round, you guys played them. I believe you guys actually took a map off of them, right? Coming out of D2 last season in the playoff seedings, and you guys won Station, and then they won Embassy, and I believe it was Ministry, right?
Yeah, yep. They won Embassy, then we won Station, and they won Ministry.
Yeah, all right. So yeah, the map pool is going to be a little bit different. No Embassy for the playoffs, no Heights for the playoffs, just the 5 standard maps. That's what I've been told. So it's going to be interesting. Congratulations to VEA on the win. Good win for them. And yeah, guys, stay posted or stay tuned to Reddit to get posted about to get word of the playoffs and when those matches will be. They're being scheduled by the actual teams over the next 2 weeks or so, and then the final will happen scheduled between the winners of those 2 games. It's going to be Armada and Armada 2 in one semifinal, and FgC and VEA in another semifinal. Going to be some great playoff games, so stay tuned. Torso definitely going to be casting a lot of that, I'm sure. So yeah, awesome, guys.
Yep.
All right, thanks to Urod Gaming and Epic GOT, our sponsors, and we will see you guys some other time.